Hello folks, the late great Alfredo Campoli, a bel canto Italian player. His mother was an opera singer, his father was a violinist. So right from the womb he grew up with bel canto sound, Italian sound all around him. Well, he just happened to be my violin teacher's teacher. So through my teacher Ron, I've got just a couple of examples of music where Campoli has put his notes on there, fingering and so on, and instructions. And so I just thought I'd show you that because he was a great player. He owned the Dragonetti Strad for a short while, but I believe from what Ron told me, he preferred to play on a rocker. You can see where Campoli has put start here, capitals, and he's got his dollar signs so you can find yourself in the piece. And he's made it more musical in places by removing slurs and changing the dynamics and adding his own dynamics a little. So quite interesting. I feel quite privileged to have these one or two examples of his fingering. Here he's given some instructions to play a triple P and very precise bowing instructions here. The other piece I got from Ron, which is right up Campoli's street as a bel canto player, is the introduction of Rondo Capriccioso by Sasson. And let's just have a look at some of the markings that Campoli left on here. So you've got all his fingering, which is awesome to have, and he quite likes to shout at you in capital letters, Glispiccato, and down here fermo. It's quite neat, his writing, as people were in the olden days. They used to know how to write very well, but I guess it jumps out at you, so you can't miss it, so to speak. There's another fermo who likes to give instructions in Italian. Of course, he was Italian, but spent most of his life in the UK. It said that his father used to take him out of school and bring him home for lunch at lunchtime so he could practice, and apparently broke so many bows over Campoli's back. A very strict disciplinarian. Unfortunately, it's how a lot of the old world players became good, is through real over-the-top Victorian style discipline, which is not the techniques we like to use with our kids today. So what is that? Trat. Yeah, as I say, just really cool to have this fingering. Prima. Gonna make sure you do spiccato there in the fast section. And yeah, this is standard, all down bows there for the double stopping. Seems to have left an instruction here for second position, and I don't know who's crossed that out. It's probably Ron who's had a think about that and thought better, adjusted it. Campoli probably wouldn't have let him do that, so maybe he did that afterwards, after he'd stopped his lessons. Another prima there. So there we go. I think I might have one third example of sheet music with Campoli's notes on it, where one, if memory serves me, some of his instructions can be quite humorous or quite funny, like quite shouting at you, do this. But I can't remember which piece it was now. So if I dig it out, maybe I'll share some of that. So that's the cool thing about having if you're privileged to have a famous teacher like my teacher Ron was. He had a couple: Campoli, Isolde Menges, Colin Sawyer, and others. Or if your teacher maybe wasn't so famous, but your teacher had famous teachers, then you're kind of a descendant in a sense, aren't you? And if you have some things like this in your possession, these are things that you treasure. Ciao for now, violinisti.